going on, guys? It's Simo, and we're here at YCS Salt Lake City, and who are we with today?
My name's Darren Stephenson.
All right, and what did you do?
I got top 32 with Pendulum Magician.
Okay, and so why'd you decide to go with this deck?
Because I think it's clearly the best deck. I think it's the deck that has the highest ceiling other than like something daft like World Chalice.
Okay.
But whereas this can actually go second and push into established fields. I didn't play the FDK though because like I was just worried that everybody would like think everyone was playing the FDK and then play a load of hand traps.
Right.
So I wanted to play a deck with like the most extenders and be able to push for anything and put up like really strong boards. Because I think putting up the strongest board is just like doing the FDK because they can hardly break it and you're not running the risk of like losing to somebody who knows you're playing the FDK. Right. Then like Ghost Ogre and your Storm Venom or something different.
Yeah. Now in retrospect, knowing that there wasn't a lot of people playing hand traps, would you have opted for the FDK?
No.
Yeah. You still prefer this build? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to ask. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
Sure. So the standard stuff, just like free Astro and that. Just for an extender, again, it's pretty standard so far. Yep. So these are all the extenders. So I tried to max out on as many extenders as possible. 3 Cerberus and 2 Jackal. I didn't play Basilisk because like Basilisk just felt really like it's cool to give this more options, but I'm gonna search this every time. Even if I've drawn this, I'm gonna search another one because like it helps to push into boards even if you have 2. And sometimes when you get cherries or something, ending with 2 Jackals is just really strong. When I got cherries, I ended with 2 Jackals and a Tornado, and you couldn't win. And a lot of people like find this weird that I'm playing free this. I don't understand why, because like if you draw this, it just gets your stuff started, and if I draw him, I can end on like 3 or 4 negates minimum. And honestly, I just don't understand why. Like so many people say, wonder why I play free is because I play free hamster as well. Because these two really complement each other. Because if you draw this and another extender, you can use this to summon these two. And I think this is broken. Like if I draw it off Electromite, it allows me to add back 2 of these to help you keep going. If I haven't used its effect to summon either, I can use this effect to pop to summon this, use this effect to add another one, and then if I do that, then I'm ended on 4 negates, no problem. And I can usually do that with like 3 or 4 cards because this gives you that extra plus. And going into established fields as well. Sometimes in Pendulum you need that extra card because if they break your scales or something daft like that, you just can't play. And this gives you the extra card that you need. Those are the extenders. So the Magician lineup. I didn't play the Darkwurms or anything because I thought like the variants that the Darkwurms provided with playing loads of spells and stuff, it was too risky for me. Because if you draw multiple of the spells, you can't fix it. Whereas if you draw multiple Cerberus or something like that, Electromite replaces it with another card because it can pop it as a monster. So I just played those extenders and I thought those were the best ones.
Interesting. And
I played Free Wisdom Eye because like this gives you the most utility in your deck because sometimes you just need to search every single one of these to extend, blow up fields with the big boom guy, pops, pop stuff. This is broken because it lets me extend and bring stuff back from grave after I've used Time Star to search a guy, and then like that gives you 2 guys in grave ready to keep extending, and you just link it all the way. I only played 2 of this because it's not a normal summon, and I thought 2 was fine. And also like a bit controversial, I main decked 5 hand drops as well. I main decked 2 Ogre and 2 Ash.
Was this hedging against FDK?
Yeah, so I was like at Dabbers, I noticed a lot of people was buying the 60 card decks, so I got scared of going, because if you go second against a 60 card deck and they're open really well, it's just impossible. Whereas if you have 1 disruption, you usually just can't play, and especially with Pendulum as well, no one is respecting this, and when they run into this, they just can't play. Like sometimes the FDK can play through it if they've got a god hand, but like I'll just take down the chin because I was getting FDK'd anyway. I'd rather take the variance of bricking with these than not being able to out a board if I lose the dice roll. So I'd rather just like make sure every time I lose the dice roll I'm not going to lose game 1, and these made it so if I lost the dice roll it didn't matter.
Interesting.
And I only played 2 spells. I only played 2 of these.
So we haven't seen Pendulum play this in like forever. So what's the logic behind this?
This card's disgusting. Like I don't know why nobody's playing this because like I play like a huge Magician lineup. This card, not only is it like a rotor, it gets you to these, which gives you like an extra monster via Pendulum summon which you need. Also this gives you anything, so if you need the Black Fang to do the combo and stuff. And not only that, it lingers on the field as well, so if they're trying to break your board, it's still there. So if you end with like a Black Fang or Magician, that's like a +2 because you're plussing off the Black Fang, you're plussing off the Wisdom, you reborn a guy back and you add this guy and you're just gonna kill him. It's like if you have this with a board, they're not winning. And I only played 2 because obviously, like I said, with the spells, the variants can be a bit weird. But I thought it was worth it with this card to just play at least 2 because it got us to all my Magicians. And like, if you open a hand of just Magicians, you can use sometimes break boards with just that, or just kill them if you've hand trapped them or something.
So why not no copies of Potted Desires or like Allure, like generic draw power?
Like I say, I was playing Allure. So with Allure, I was playing Allure before these. Like in the regional, I didn't play any hand traps. I just played Allure.
Okay.
But since these aren't dark, Allure can actually cause bricks. So it doesn't really fix your hands because the cards you don't want to see aren't dark. So if I draw this off Allure, I'm forced to banish an engine card. Instead, I've got this instead.
Okay.
And with Potted Desires, again, drawing multiples of that. I suppose it's alright because it's a +1, but like since it banishes so much of your resources, I just wasn't prepared to accept the variance. Like I played it in a few regionals, like just gone, and like the variance it creates with Astrograph just makes it so sometimes I can't push into boards when I once could, and I prefer to play like more Pendulum monsters because like I think if you max out on as many Pendulum monsters as possible, I think that's when Pendulums are the best.
Sure. So you're really minimizing variance, overvaluing card in some instances.
Like,
okay.
The only variance really is like this and like the double Cerberus stuff.
Sure.
But like I say, like Cerberus is just too powerful not to play because this is also part of the like the 4 negates I'm doing. And like,
Jackal's absurd.
Yeah, this card's ridiculous. It's like it's like a mini Kirin, I guess. And like having this in multiples is not so bad because like I say, you can pop it. And if you draw one of these, it's like you've already got one of your negate. So you can end on one less negate, which is fine because you've already got 3.
Cool.
That's the main deck.
Side or extra, whichever you want.
I'll do extra first, I guess. The extra, a lot of people aren't doing this either. I played 3 Electromite. Not only is it like needed for to do the 3 or 4 negates, I feel like if you're in a grind and you only summon and your first one gets ogred, you're going to need the other 2 because it just helps you push. And if you just make 2, then when you follow in turn, like this just makes things much easier. And like there was space for the 3rd anyway, so I just thought like it's the best card in the extra deck. Why wouldn't you play 3? And the other link monsters, this to just link stuff away to summon guys. This because it's kind of like a pseudo defensive card. So they've got to attack this instead of breaking your threats. Also, it's got a neat effect to push. This, whenever I summon this, they just find it so stressful to deal with. Because even if they manage to board wipe me, if this is co-linked to 2, I can add back 2 engine cards. So that's fine as well. And like they just find this too stressful to deal with, especially if I got 38 on the field. They can't just attack over underclock. And I also played 2 of this. It's to make Hope Harbinger and also because it just means more Electromites. Vortex is another negate. There's the only Synchro I didn't play Gnista because it never really came up because your magicians just deal with everything outside of like something like Sleeper, but I didn't think I was going to play Spiral. I thought the event was small enough it was going to be predominantly Pendulum, so I just played this guy.
Good thing you didn't play me though. I'm just kidding.
and the XYZ is Hope Harbinger as the 4th negate. This to search your combo pieces, like use him to search your Astrograph or your Jackal, especially when you get cherries. This card really shines as well because it gets you to have a negate. Like if you get cherries, you can still end on 3 disruptions. This to go to him. This just to out anti-spell and shite like that. And this to so I made this over the decode which I sided. So I sided this in every game 2 and 3 for cherries, and I just took out one of these or something. Took out this if it was irrelevant. I took out the firewall. So the reason why I made this is because usually you know they're playing Draco because they don't have an extra deck, and if they don't, then whatever. And if you know they're playing 60 cards because they've got 60 cards, and I'd rather have this every game 1 when I know my matchup than have this, and if the main deck cherries, then whatever. And that was the extra deck. On the side, like I say, just whacked in a decode just so whenever I get cherries I don't really care. Helps in grinds too, so it can help push because without this it's really hard to push because it's a pain in the arse to make Metaltron. 3 cherries because I just want to max out on as many hand traps as possible, especially when I'm playing the FTK, because playing against the FTK, sorry, because if I don't have a hand trap, it's over. Because it's consistent enough. So I just thought like I even keep it in Ash as well, even though it's not that great, but it stops the FTK, so I don't really care. I played this because I absolutely hate Dimensional Barrier. I never resolved it once because every time I got barrier I didn't have it and I just lost, but that's just what happens with Pendulum, I guess. You can't really do anything about barrier.
Until we get Red Reboot.
Yeah, until we get that. But I didn't even play Omega because I don't really care about making Omega because with Gamma it was little, but with these, if you summon these 2, that's like 4k and that can apply pressure and you just kill them if you resolve those. I didn't side it in against Pendulum because like they have negate, so it's pointless, but everything else that like doesn't end on like a negate as a vortex like card like Mechaba or whatever, this goes in like against Draco and stuff because it hits anti-spell too because a lot of people have to flip it in the standby phase. Very this just out floodgates and crap. I don't normally like doing like 2 ofs, but I had to make space somewhere for like these 2. So with the side in and outs worked. I was wanting to play 3 evenly, but against Trickstar I had to side out 3 cards, and these were like the best 3 to put in going first, so I had to sacrifice in evenly. I know this is a win button against Draco, but I'd rather not draw something shit against Trickstar going first than just lose to them. Even though going first against Trickstar is usually an auto win anyway, but I'd just rather not take the variance.
That's fair.
And also, since I wasn't siding this at all, because I think you win going first anyway a lot of the time, outside of like Sphere Mode and Lava Golem. But since I'm maining these, I want to take 2 Ash out for 2 Barrier, because Barrier's just an auto win against like Pendulum and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, sir. Any final words or shoutouts?
Yeah, a big shout out to my friend Saul, who's letting me stay here in the United States so I can actually like try and get world points. Otherwise, this would have cost a fortune. A big shout out to Michael Jafar as well, who I was testing with, as well as Saul. He's currently in top 16 right now, so I hope he wins. He's playing a guy who beat me. He's a girl. I hope he beats him. Big shout out to everyone back in the UK and Ireland who supported us and wishful words and helped us with the theory and stuff. So a big shout out to them. A shout out to NCG as well, who's my team. And I hope I'm not missing anyone, but I can't remember anyone. I think that's it. I hope I missed anyone. Sorry if I have, but yeah, just a big shout out to everyone who's like helped. Oh, of course, yeah, Jacob. He sorts me out with all these cards because a lot of my stuff got stolen in Atlanta.
Oh,
yeah,
that sucks.
So he just replaced everything for us, and a big thank you to him as well.
That's awesome. All right, man. Well, thanks so much. Congratulations on the top.
Yeah, thank you.